Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my co-owner commentary Ashton, and this is our NXT review. Guys, I'm going to be honest, I enjoyed tonight's NXT. For the most part, especially the debut that we got of MSK, I definitely thought for me that was the highlight of the show. I'm going to be honest, though. For a good bit of it, I think I was just a bit bored, honestly. I can't really lie. Obviously, I don't want to be mired in the negativity. Ash and I have been all about that since coming back to reviews, and I'll air it all out in the first segment. So before I go any further, let me hand it over to Ashton. How did you feel about NXT tonight?
Yeah, dude, pretty much same energy. I thought that there was some good stuff on this show and absolutely loved the debut. But there were also like 3 or 4 matches on this show that when I saw who was in them, I tuned out and I was just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so with that said, let's get right into our first segment, Heat of the Night. I'm just going to be honest with you, bro. I have, I think, 4 nitpicks, really. And I'll go through them quickly. And I say nitpicks because I don't want to, pitch a fit, right? I hate that Shotzi Blackheart lost tonight.
Dude, I was even going to say, why the hell are we still even doing this fucking feud? How is this not over yet, for fuck's sakes?
How is this not over, and how is Shotzi in a worse place than where she started?
Yeah.
And again, that's just my opinion. I don't know if you disagree.
I definitely agree. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm pissed about it, too.
Shotzi feels much like Ember, right? How ironic is it that those two are partners in the Women's Dusty Classic? When they
belong
both
together.
They really do, because Ember came in to me so hot. I know she's kind of an ambivalent topic in our chat, and I totally respect that. But I know you and I, personally, were really vibing with Ember and her energy.
Yep.
She feels like another woman on the roster now, especially after losing to Raquel, and Shotzi, who had a career-defining match with Io, loses War Games, which, you know what, fine, whatever. I disagreed with it then, but it's whatever. But then she gets the singles match with Candice, and she loses.
Yep.
Like she ran over your tank, and she more or less got away with it. I mean, that's what happened, Ashton. She ran over Shotzi's tank, and she got away with it. I hated that. I know I called it a nitpick, but the more I dwell on it, it might as well be a full-blown Heat of the Night because I hate it. Shotzi is so good.
I think that is almost like an instance of the wires getting crossed between the eyes and minds of the fans and the eyes and the minds of the people writing this. Because I think in our minds, that's a setup for Shotzi to get revenge on Candice and for Candice to get a comeuppance. In their minds, it was nothing more than a tool to build the War Games, to make War Games feel more significant and more personal.
Right. And dude, I think why I initially called it a nitpick is because I am liking the way. I've even said on this podcast sometimes the last few weeks, they have all turned a corner on me or with me. So I understand you want to build them up because what good's a faction if they're not a threat? But I mean, Jesus Christ, I really felt Shotzi needed this. Do you want me to just keep going through my nitpick? But I guess we could go back and forth if you have anything you want to air out. Because I don't want to monopolize this segment. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
I don't think I have any full-blown heats of the night either, though. That's the thing is there wasn't anything on this show that really just pissed me the hell off. Even though there were a few little things that were just there was nothing that made me angry.
Yeah, that's why, again, I'm trying to keep it to, nitpicks, because I wasn't, raging mad at any of it. I was more just, sighing, come on, really?
You can do better than this kind of thing.
Yeah,
Fucking Swerve eating the pin.
Dude, well, we'll get to that, because, again, I said I had 4 of these. So my second and third, because they kind of go together, and, again, it's kind of similar energy to the Shotzi one, I hated that Dexter Lumis lost tonight.
Yep.
This dude is an interesting character, which you need more of. Dude, honestly, I'll put it to you this way.
This wasn't even a title match, was it?
No, it was non-title, and I'll put it to you as succinctly as possible, which I know is rare for me. They have got everything so mixed up here. Because Lumis should be the contender. Kushida should have had the competitive non-title match where he lost via cheating tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I saw Kushida standing over Johnny after giving him the belt back posing, and it really gave me that New Japan Kushida energy where I fucking, like, violently rejected everything about it because I'm like, that should be Loomis. That should 100% be Loomis. And so, just, again, pretty much...
Well, not only should that be Loomis, but, like, the idea that we're going to be getting a Kushida Gargano match for the North American Championship, which I've kind of likened to NXT's equivalent to the Intercontinental Championship or the United States, basically the fucking mid-card men's title, right? It feels very masturbatory to me. It feels very much like NXT being like, hey guys, you don't need to be big to have an amazing title match. And then at the same time, there's also a big part of me that's like, you mean to tell me these two motherfuckers are fighting for the North American title and Swerve is constrained in the Cruiserweight division? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Oh, dude. Well, I'll just get to my fun on it because, again, that was like a bundle. I can't believe Loomis lost this. And I don't even like how he loses his matches.
That's just kind of the common theme of the night, right? Like, wrong guy, wrong person wins. Like, Shotzi lost, Loomis lost, Swerve ate the pin. Like, yeah, man, like, it's kind of a theme for the night in that sense.
Yeah, and, like, God, can we find more inventive ways for Loomis to lose matches? Because I understand that they think that they're protecting him, but, like... Yeah. Dude can't kick out of a roll-up ever. Like, every time it's a fucking roll-up. So, yeah, that just kind of...
I think in their mind, that is protecting him, because he's not actually getting beaten, he's getting caught.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of Loomis, and I understand that, I guess, with a character like that in NXT's mind, they can make him a contender at any time. It's just, I wish it was right now. Like, I don't like that Kushida's contending. That's, again, why I call it a nitpick, because I think another part about nitpicks, and I should qualify this for our audience, it's more just things that, like, I personally don't vibe with. Not even just something that I think is bad business.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel, too. Like, for me, a nitpick is me having, like, a personal problem with the show. Whereas,
yeah, exactly.
A Heat of the Night is more me feeling like there is an objective problem with the show.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear. I'm glad you kind of helped me with that, which leads me to my final nitpick, just to get through this quickly, and you touched on it. Not only did Swerve eat the pin, but, like, another problem I had, dude, was with the segment we got a little after, where they teased that Bronson Reed and Swerve were going to face off again after Reed already destroyed him in a match. Like,
yeah, it's funny because, like, in this segment, I got the vibe of, like, oh, wow, they're really going out of their way to make it seem like Swerve is Bronson Reed's bitch right now, since Bronson was able to calm him down and stop him from going after Jake Atlas. But then it's like they're teasing that they're going to have another match, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Unless this match involves Swerve completing his heel turn and cheating to win, I don't fucking care.
Exactly, because we already saw the match, and dude, Bronson Reed ate, like, the heel headbutt that Swerve started doing, like, in the second week. He already ate it. I don't care. So, like, just a whole slew of I think this is the most nitpicks I've had since we've come back to doing reviews. And again, I say nitpicks because I didn't want to go too hard on the show, because really the best parts were the Dusty Classic elements. And also, I was kind of mad about Undisputed Era winning, because, again, it really is, you know my problems with the UE lately. It's not even really them. It's the booking. It's been, like, starting to get repetitive,
redundant.
Yeah.
Tiresome.
Yes. Absolutely.
Breaking out the thesaurus, baby.
Yeah, that's definitely a dinosaur that deserves more appreciation. But, yeah, that's all from me.
Do you know what's another dinosaur that deserves more appreciation?
What's that?
The Therizinosaur. It's really cool.
Nice. All right, so I'll leave all of you to... Yeah, I was just about to say, I'll leave all of you to Google that as we move on to our NXT review, and we open with Shotzi versus Candice. We already talked about this in the opening segment. Candice, unfortunately, wins with Ticket to Ride. After that, we cut to Finn Balor walking, backstage. He's going to be cutting a promo, but we also see that For the Brand arrives at the arena. I'm going to be honest, too, just as an aside. I guess I have a lot to say tonight. I shouldn't say I like these guys, because goddamn, Birch is such a fucking tool. But, like...
he's trash.
Bro, putting Birch aside, obviously I like Lorcan, and I really have liked Dunn as a heel, but I got a level with you, bro. And I'm thinking I'll find an ally in you in this, maybe not. It just is not the same without McAfee, dude. Generic as shit.
So here's my thing. When McAfee's around, he and Dunn are the only ones that do any talking. Birch and Lorcan are really kind of resided to backseat role. Without McAfee, apparently NXT sees Danny Burch as the backup talker guy behind Dunn, and they let him talk, and that's where we get an issue. Because if it would just be Pete Dunne talking and Lorcan and Burch backing him up, I'd be down. But Burch had to open his fucking mouth.
Yeah, oh god, dude. It's, like I said, man, it just has such a generic feel to it to me without McAfee.
That's a very true statement too. Like, McAfee makes this unit feel special. Without him, it almost just feels like an NXT UK invasion force.
Yeah, dude, yes. I think that's perfect. That's perfect. Somebody that isn't generic, though, we get Finn Balor's promo. Bro, I fucking love Finn puffing his chest out, dude. Like, Finn is just like, main roster didn't know how to use me. I'm going to go back. I'm going to resuscitate my own goddamn career. I am going to embody big dick energy in 2020, and apparently I'm going to keep that energy in 2021. I love this promo, dude. He gives Kyle O'Reilly credit. He says Kyle O'Reilly's good. In fact, he's really good. But now he's the one eating his meals through a straw because, he got him back for the whole jaw thing. And he pretty much says that, he's awaiting the next challenger. But I think my favorite line in this was, but just so you know, they stopped... I think he said they stopped sewing the cloth that I was cut from, or something like that. And I fucking love that line, dude. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, Finn's spitting. How did you feel about this promo, man?
That's the only line that really stood out to me, and I loved that too. Yeah, that was so good.
Dude, his fucking confidence, man. Like, it's funny because, how can I put this? I feel like when a lot of indie guys, when their stock is hot, are signing a WWE contract, I feel like there's more cynicism now than when this first started. But I feel like, for example, when Cesaro first signed to the company, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, Claudio Castagnoli, to WWE. And they always think that they're going to get the indie guy, or however they remember them, like transplanted into the company without thinking like, oh wait, the WWE style is going to affect them. And I say that because this second NXT run for Finn really is the closest to that Prince Devitt fucking
dude,
ever.
I know. It took 6 goddamn years, and he's finally here. That's all you got to do. All you have to do is just show up, put in the work, allow yourself to be neutered, maybe deal with some injuries, win a Universal title, never get to challenge for it again, and then eventually you do and lose. Get relegated back to developmental, and after 6 years, you'll be able to be yourself again. That's worth it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, talk about a hero's fucking journey. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I only bring that up for that reason. Like, it's so good to see Finn, again, be that Prince Devitt kind of energy. Like, you fucking love to see it all day, every fucking day. So yeah, I adored this promo. I thought it was great. And yeah, I don't really know if I'm excited about what we all know is coming for Finn, especially after our discussion about Karrion Kross last week on the podcast, but that remains to be seen. Again, For the Brand interrupts, and more or less Pete Dunne lays down the gauntlet. Says, I'm done waiting in line.
I'm more excited about the potential and the prospect of this match than fucking Balor Kross.
I agree. I think Dunne's really in his pocket right now as a heel. It's believable, and he's, aggressive as shit. Like, I believe him taking the fight to Finn and winning that fight.
Yeah.
Which I think is important. Finn, it ultimately devolves into a 3-on-1, and Finn actually holds his own pretty well. I actually thought he was going to win the exchange, and that was going to be another nitpick for me, because I'm like, I love Finn. It's a great fucking promo, but you just bitched out your next contender. But they do get the up on him, and Kyle O'Reilly tries getting involved, and that's kind of a narrative, too, is like, what is he doing here? He's not medically cleared kind of thing. And so For the Brand kind of lay Finn and Kyle out, and then Adam and Roddy come in, clear the ring. They obviously have a Dusty Classic match later that night against Breezango. So, yeah, that was that segment. Do you have any other thoughts you want to share about that?
Yeah, so as far as Dunne goes, I feel like there's still a part of me that sees him as the motherfucker that took Walter to the limit.
Yeah.
And that gives him like a certain air of credibility to me that, I don't know, Kross just doesn't have. Like Cross, I mean, don't get me wrong. I remember Cross beating Ciampa in like what was it, like 6 or 7 minutes or whatever it was. But like, I just feel like he's lost all of his luster since then. I just don't have any interest in seeing Cross wrestle right now. I feel like he needs to be built back up from the ground up.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it was a bad decision to bring him back and immediately insert him back into the main event picture. I get that he never lost the title or whatever, but like, maybe your best bet would have been to have him return, get a world title shot immediately, have him lose it, and then have him go way back down to the bottom of the card and have to work his way back up. Maybe even as a babyface at this point, because I don't see you as a badass anymore, dude.
Yeah, it's understandable, man. I think they definitely gotta rehabilitate him. So we'll have to see what happens there. We then get. And I'll admit, I was preoccupied. I had a lot of conversation going on tonight, but I did try and pay much attention to the show. So I think what we had next was a Johnny Gargano promo. And
after the Finn promo?
After the Finn promo, yeah. And then before the brand interrupting.
Well, didn't we get GYV versus Everrise?
I have that after the Gargano promo. Personally, that's how I have it in my notes. Was that came after Gargano cut his promo?
No. The Dusty Classic match happened first.
Are you positive about that?
Yeah. So the Dusty Classic match, the GYV versus Everrise, they fought first. Then we had the Shotzi Ember exchange. Then we got the Johnny promo with Loomis.
Okay, well then my notes.
No. Wait. Did Gargano cut a promo before his match? Like not in the not like, oh, I'm going to cut a promo in the ring and then go right into a match, but like earlier in the night than that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I just missed that. I just don't have that in here.
Okay, because you mentioned. I feel like my notes are fucked. Okay, you kind of. All right, I have a promo here. I'll just put it this way. I have a promo here from Johnny where he's talking about the Dusty Classic. Like he said, Candice's win was beautiful, and he kind of talks up the way.
He just fucking had to quote Bruce Almighty, didn't he?
Of course he did.
He couldn't wait to throw that line out there. Like, you could tell. He was anticipating it. He was fucking bubbling at the thought of being able to use that line.
Yeah.
He watched Bruce Almighty. He watched Bruce Almighty last Thursday, and he was pissed that he forgot that he didn't watch it a day earlier so he could use it last week. And he had it boiling for the whole 6 days leading up to this. And he was just like, I'm going to use it now. Beautiful. I'm so fucking clever. Holy shit.
Yeah, he was definitely proud of himself for that one. And then he says that they're going to win both the women's and men's Dusty Classic. And then Mackenzie actually kind of talks back. She's like, well, are you sure about that? Because you kind of lost last week. And, Kushida pinned you. And you guys are facing, you and Austin Theory, are facing Kushida and Leon Ruff.
Yeah,
next week. And Johnny's like, first of all, rude. Just immediately keeping that energy. And then he says, second of all, Kushida did BB. I was wearing skinny jeans for God's sake. So he's saying like, because the skinny jeans couldn't compete at a 100% Johnny Gargano level. Austin Toolbag taps on Johnny's shoulders like, hey, what? I got a gift for you. What is this? Who's it from? I don't know. Opens it and it's like, it's from Loomis. It's on the name, man. It's on the folder. Like so it was right there. I can't stand Austin Theory. And it's pretty much drawings of Johnny crying and stuff and really looking like babyfied, and Austin Theory's kind of laughing at him. And then Johnny's like, oh, and here's one of you too. And it's an illustration of Austin Theory getting, cannonballed in the nuts by Shotzi with her tank from last week. And Austin's like, you better beat his ass tonight. And Johnny's like, these drawings suck. And then they leave. So that was pretty great. So then in my notes, I do have GYV versus Everrise.
Is it sad to anyone else that I feel like NXT has done a better job of promoting Dexter Lumis, the artist, than Dexter Lumis, the wrestler?
It's definitely sad to me too, friend. And speaking of things to make us sad, I am probably totally alone in this. This would have been, I didn't even want to count this as a nitpick because I knew I could just mention in passing, like on the review segment itself. I'm kind of disappointed that we're not getting babyface GYV here.
Dude, I was hoping for it too.
You know what? I'm glad you're with me on that, man. I really thought I was going to be alone on this island, but when they cut that promo and they're like, "I'm sorry to disappoint all these creatures in attendance," my heart sank because I'm like, "Fuck!"
And then he did the dude, and I'm just like, God, I fucking love this, but they're doing it like heels. They're trying to get heat out of it. God damn it.
Especially when you consider, like, you've got Oney Lorcan, who I only say his name just so that we have the distinction, and that bald piece of shit, Danny Burch, as tag team champions. Like, I know I call Corbin adult Caillou, but Burch is pretty much like British adult Caillou. Like, they both just suck so bad.
He wishes. Danny Burch is fucking adult fucking real life Squidward. He literally looks like Squidward. Don't at me.
Yeah, Javaris apparently is with us too. I'm really glad I'm not alone in that. I thought it was being weird when I really wanted fucking babyface GYV. But you know what, dude? You are right. Like, Caillou has gotten so much more heat than fucking Burch wishes he could get as a heel, and especially as the main talker apparently for the brand. God help that faction if that's the case. So I will say, solid matchup. Fucking relieved as shit that GYV won this. Because with NXT, I don't even know anymore. I was kind of thinking like, oh dear God.
Dude, it went too long. It went way too long.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. You're 100% right about that. GYV does win with Ticket to Mayhem.
Didn't that move used to just be called Ticket to Ride?
Yes.
The fuck happened? When did it change to Ticket to Mayhem?
Because when you're still fucking heels, you need to be menacing enough. Rides are fun. We don't do fun here.
I mean, I asked when, not why.
Oh, sorry. I was channeling my inner WWE there. I don't know
when. Do you know
honestly.
when? Was it literally just this week? Did Vic Joseph botch and say the wrong name of their finisher? It wouldn't be new, dude. The NXT commentary team has fallen off a fucking cliff. Beth Phoenix referred to a flatliner as a DDT tonight. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. So yeah, I do agree with you. The match went on way too long.
Yeah.
So I'm going to defer to you because you said that Ember and Shotzi had an interaction here. I did not see that at all tonight because my next thing in my notes is the Raquel Rhea recap.
Yeah. Shotzi asked Ember to be your partner.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that. Okay. So that. Yeah. All right. So then I guess after that, I did see a Raquel Rhea recap and Raquel just bragging about her win. Do we even need to talk about it? Everything's awful.
I'm okay with not talking about it. I'm perfectly okay with skipping.
Yeah, and we might as well skip this too since we already devoted so much time to it in the first segment. Dexter Lumis, Johnny Gargano. Again, I'm in pain. Kushida.
Again, I'm in pain.
Yeah. For the brand promo, God, again, this fucking bald piece of shit. Just talking about, well, all eyes are on us because this whole tournament's about us and getting a shout out. Actually, it's about the tag title, which, fine. I get the point you're making, but, you're not special. Shut the fuck up. And they're like, oh, let's go send a message to Kyle O'Reilly. Yeah, let's go mess him up. And, they're going to do that. God, to go from Chad to Beta, just like that. Fucking like that, man. Damn. Oh, God.
From Chad to Incel.
Dude, he's on the message board. You fucking know. All he's proud about not wearing a mask. So, yeah, that happened.
Everybody knows that all women are whores unless they have sex with me.
Oh, my God. I need a minute. How dare you? Okay.
You said, how dare you?
I was composed, sir. And you just destroyed it. Oh,
I mean,
God,
that's pretty much the incel line of thinking, right? All women are whores because they won't have sex with me, even if they have sex with other men. Yeah, you're a whore because you won't have sex with me.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, pretty much. You're just recalling to mind a short story I read literally entitled, The Feminist, and it was this guy with pretty much that mindset at the end. He's like, I have never once microaggressed a woman, and I'm an 8 out of 10, and I think he, talked about the length of his shaft and,
God, yes, please tell me he talked about skull shape.
I don't think he talked about skull shape, but he talked about, how well endowed he is.
Oh, my God. Wait, please tell me this wasn't a professionally published article and this is just some...
No. This is is like a short story, like a work of fiction, but you captured it so well that it reminded me of that short story that I read.
Okay, good.
It's just oh my god! And then in the end, he goes up and he shoots up a cafe because, of course,
of course, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
totally justified, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I just
a community has reached peak self-hate when Skull shape comes into play.
Yeah, it's God. The discourse is kill it. I don't know. We get Thatcher Ciampa sitting down. Here's the thing.
I hated this. I hated this so fucking much. This is so bad.
Dude, I feel like the only positive thing we're going to talk about is MSK, because I'm either like male and everything else, or like whatever.
To me, though, honestly, being completely straight-faced, this was the worst part of NXT for me tonight.
Wow. You know what, dude? I want you to kind of take the lead on this, because you're coming in with a much stronger energy than I was going to. So why did you hate this, dude? Walk us through it.
So, first of all, I felt like Ciampa just completely obliterated Thatcher from a performance standpoint, from like a delivery standpoint. Thatcher's lines all sounded like High School Musical delivery. They were so bad. And I love Thatcher as a performer. I think he's great. But whoever the fuck was directing this segment needed to stop being so overbearing with Thatcher and let him just talk, because they were clearly trying to make sure that he said his lines word for fucking word. And he was, and it sounded like shit. Barrett did nothing. Ciampa was like aggro as fuck, and again, how the fuck are we supposed to like this guy and cheer him like he's a baby face? I just hated this. I hated everything about this. To me, this got nobody over. This didn't get anyone over at all. This made everyone look bad.
Yeah, like I like the energy that Ciampa tried giving off, and Thatcher like what I don't like.
That's kind of my thing. Ciampa, I think, had really, really good delivery if he was a heel.
Right.
But his overly aggressive energy came off as very heelish, and we're supposed to fucking cheer him. He's supposed to be the good guy here.
Yeah, and like, I'm going to be honest, dude, to kind of piggyback off your points, because, again, I was surprised by the energy you came in on this segment with, but I find myself hard-pressed to disagree, because I don't think Thatcher had enough pushback here. Like, he even opened with I had no problem with you. Well, I mean, we know that, but you have a problem now, so let's talk about the problem you have now. I'm like, dig down deep or something. And to me,
I feel like everything about this story is painting Ciampa as the bad guy, but we're just expected to cheer for him anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because I almost wish that my prediction way back of them just being a tag team would have been correct, because I would have been more invested, dude, in them being in the Dusty Classic.
And especially if they were a heel tag team, because, again, Ciampa right now, as supposed to be a face, just is not working.
Dude, imagine a tag team of these two with, Ciampa being the fucking boomer and Thatcher being the coach that takes liberties, right? Like, after the match, they just wreak havoc, especially, on the hungrier teams, like maybe even like an Ever Rise, even though they're definitely
it could definitely work for sure. I think that them as a tag team is like a really high potential end game for this story. Like I could see it being really, really good and making some really good segments and really, really good quality content and stuff. It just doesn't feel to me like that's where NXT is going with this, and I just don't know where they are.
Exactly.
But it's just weird when you've got Ciampa calling Thatcher a piece of shit for doing the taking liberties. It's like just let me get this straight, Mr. Ciampa. You're angry at him for taking liberties, but at the same time you want the locker room to toughen up. Isn't that contradictory?
Exactly.
And being contradictory is fine if you're a heel, but you're supposed to be a face, right? Unless I'm misreading it. Is Ciampa not supposed to be the face? Because I feel like one guy tortures his students and the other guy just talks like he's a piece of shit. So I don't know who's supposed to be the bad guy here. I feel like the guy that tortures his students is probably supposed to be the bad guy, and we're supposed to like the other guy, and NXT is just misreading the room horribly.
Yeah, and dude, speaking for myself personally, although I think it's very clear we're on the same energy here, ever since Thatcher lost a takeover, I just really haven't found myself caring about this feud. I should be more hyped about the fight pit, especially because it seems like they're telegraphing it.
See, and that's my thing, is that I am excited about the fight pit exclusively because I know that it'll be a good match. Because the last fight pit with Thatcher and Riddle was great. I think that this is going to be a really genuinely great match. I'm excited to watch it next week. But from a storyline perspective, this has been a complete mess.
Exactly. I think you summed it up quite well. We get an Undisputed Era promo, more or less putting over, Breezango and Kyle talking about like how he's going to be out there and watch their back. Same stuff. Nothing really to say there. But now we get to this. We get Swerve and Atlas versus MSK. You want to talk about MSK's wrestling names in NXT? I'll start you off on this. I know you mentioned a lot about it.
Okay. Well, Zachary Wentz, or the artist formerly known as Zachary Wentz, is now Nash Carter, which isn't too bad. That's definitely the more acceptable of the two. But Desmond Xavier is now Wes Lee.
Yeah.
I can't say it with a straight face. I thought I would. I tried. It just couldn't happen.
I know that WWE acquired all the territories. I just never thought the territories would make a comeback within WWE because these are territory as fuck names, bro. This seems like some Mid-South wrestling shit or something.
I feel like Wes Lee needs to go away for a while and then come back under a new, better name. And Nash Carter needs to become a tag team partner with Cameron Grimes so we can get the double Southern boys.
I miss Cameron Grimes.
Nash Carter and Cameron Grimes, baby. That's the Southern tag team we've all been yearning for.
Two good old country boys going straight to
the moon.
Yes.
But am I wrong, though, when I say that Nash Carter is a Southern as fuck sounding name?
Oh, no, I definitely got those vibes. Will say, though, love these guys, and you know what, Ash, and you
I mean, that's the thing. Terrible names and all, these guys are fucking great. Especially Dez, especially Wes Lee.
Yeah.
He's a special fucking talent. He really is.
You had the best line to sum up MSK when we were talking about it on Facebook. You said, quote, "I'm still happy to see them. This is an injection NXT's tag division needed." And were you ever fucking right?
Yeah.
Because the energy, dude, I'm gonna call my shot right here. If the Dusty Classic final isn't GYV versus MSK, Alphabet Soup Dusty Classic final, they're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong.
Yes. Especially if it's one of the fucking UE. If UE is one of those two teams.
UE could also work.
No. I'm saying it's a failure if they.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. Because again, you already know how I'm feeling about that, so I'm definitely agreeing with you there.
I don't want UE in the finals. I don't mind UE making it to the semis and having an amazing match with the team that beats them to go to the finals, whether it's GYV or MSK. I don't know which one it would be. I don't have them bracket memorized. I think they're in the GYV bracket, which that works. But yeah, I don't want UE in the finals. I want the finals to be GYV versus MSK for sure.
Yeah, because I can already tell you, dude, since we're kind of having that discussion, I am low-key afraid that, UE is going to win this because they want the story to be, once again, UE facing for the brand sans McAfee and, avenge Kyle and all the havoc that For the Brand has caused.
You know what, though? I really want MSK to win the whole thing and win the titles. I really do. I really, really do.
Yeah. Honestly, with MSK coming in, I have been salivating for GYV to be NXT Tag Teamers, but now to know that they're not committing to a face turn, I can wait on it a little bit longer. So my next order would be MSK and then GYV. That's how you get the tag division back on track to me. You get it on a great, exciting babyface team, and then you get it on a really technically sound, really fun heel team when they're able to, get time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have to see. I just wanted to call my shot that's absolutely the final that I want. So what were some of your favorite moments in this match? Because we had, MSK, which are amazing together, and then Swerve and Atlas, and, Atlas, I think, is a competent enough worker, and Swerve, I know we fucking adore him here on the podcast, so what were some of the highlights to you?
Yeah, so really mostly Dez had all the best highlights to me because the tope con hilo that he did where he landed on his feet right in front of the announce table was incredible. And then the finishing sequence felt a little bit sloppy, but I did enjoy him doing the flipping blockbuster into the spinebuster combo. Also, the one moment in this match that's going to get jiffed all to hell and is going to really get these guys over big time, at least with the internet community, is the push moonsault.
Yes, yes.
Bro, I don't know if you're at all familiar with this move, but they jacked this straight off of America's Best Dance Crew.
Okay, so here's the thing. I knew that they did the move. I didn't know that though. I didn't know that part that they jacked him America's Best Dance Crew.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so the season 3 Champions Quest crew in, I believe, multiple or at least the last performance. I think this was one of those moves where it was like the signature, one of their signature moves, and it was like shown in their like, this is Quest Crew, like introduction hype package videotape, and then they used it in their last performance, I want to say. But like what they would do is they were, I believe it was 6 guys in the crew, so they would have 2 of them, and then a gap, and then 2 of them, and then or 2 and 1 or something like that, and they would have one guy do the backflip, and another guy would shove him over all of these other guys while they're crouched down in like fetal position, and yeah, like that was like a signature move that they did, and fucking yeah, here we go in wrestling. It's making an appearance. It's pretty dope if you ask me.
Yeah, dude. Like, here was my thing. It was a great match, and I was a bit disappointed when the like assisted moonsault wasn't the finish, because again, I knew of the move and its popularity, you know, with people, because people just thought it was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
The double team finish they did win with was not bad, but I don't know. I feel like with a team that good, I think something just a bit more astounding. I don't know. We'll have to see what they do in future matches. But I really, really enjoyed this. What a great debut for these guys. And the theme sounds great, too. I always am eager to hear
I gotta
clean
check
versions.
it out then. I gotta check it out then. I didn't catch the theme.
I personally was vibing with it. You know, I always, before I make any definitive judgments, I like for a clean version to come out.
It is funny, though, that you mentioned a theme song, because there was another theme song on this show that was just introduced last week that we heard for the second time tonight that was fucking amazing, that actually made my list for the awards for Theme Song of the Year.
Oh, and that was?
Xia Li's theme.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that packaging, man, I'm telling you. So happy for these guys. Because here's the thing. I'm not going to fucking cop and act like I've, been watching TNA or I've been following these guys. But that brief period we did cover TNA, and I would see GIFs of them even when we weren't, and I would hear about them. Seemed like really talented dudes. It's a shame that the third one was a bit problematic, but at least these two, kept their noses clean, kept their heads up, and they've got this opportunity. Obviously, I have a lot of criticisms of WWE, so I don't know how the system's going to treat them long term, but I'm sure tonight meant a lot to them, and I'm happy for them. I hope
these guys, like, to me, the biggest sort of like nod to their credibility as just in-ring phenoms is that they're former PWG tag champs.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I cannot wait to see these guys at a takeover when they're really given time. And this match was given a good amount of time for a debut, so I'm not knocking that. But, like, come title match time, if they win the Dusty Classic, and even if they don't, that they're going to be contending for those titles eventually. Like, to me, it's an inevitability.
They're actually technically the current PWG former tag team champions, because they never lost them, and PWG hasn't been running since 2019.
Oh, right, because of was it because of COVID?
Yeah. It's because of COVID. Their last show was in like December-ish of 2019, and then I think they were planning on having another show, I believe, in March of 2020, and that's right around the time that the lockdown started. So just timing-wise, they couldn't, and now they've like lost all of their fucking talent that they were using to AEW and NXT. So like, I don't know.
God, you think PWG might have to close its doors? Don't you?
It might, dude. It's sad. I know Chikara already did, but fuck. We're not going to get into that. That's just a shitty situation. But yeah.
Right, yeah.
I hope the PWG is able to survive through all of this. And I'm very, very curious, if they do, what their first card back is going to look like. Because I feel like it's going to look like a completely different roster compared to their last card. Unless they're able to use AEW talent, which they might.
PWG always had that intimate feel, man. I'm pulling for them. But in the meantime, MSK does get the win.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the team that they beat for the PWG tag titles, Cobb and Riddle.
Oh, wow. That's right. That's right, yeah. Yeah. All right. After this, I have in my notes that we had that Scarlet vignette where I guess she more or less foretells that, Cross is going to become a fan. Again, I think NXT's really gotten their finger on the pulse of mastering really solid characters with definable aesthetics. But you got to make sure that there's at least some content there. And this is coming from a guy, again, that I've said I've become more character driven as I've progressed in my years as a wrestling fan. But you've got to at least be compelling enough in the ring. I'm starting to see that Cross may not be that guy. So we'll have to see how that match goes. But you can take your time with that. You can take your time with that. I'm more excited, again, as we said earlier, with Dunn versus Balor. After that, we get Xia Li in a matchup. Really quick one, man. Like I think less than a minute. Once the bell rang, it was.
I'll tell you what. When this match was clearly coming to an end very quickly, you know what kind of vibes I got here?
What's that?
Corbin, dude. I wonder if they're trying to get the crowd to start counting the match length.
That would be interesting, man. Well, now that you said that, I'm going to have to keep a closer eye on these matches in the coming weeks.
Yeah, dude, because as soon as she hit the one, almost like a forearm, I think it was, out of the gate, and then she did, all of her posing and shit, and I was like, oh my god, she's about to hit her finish, and then she did the spin kick and pinned her, and that was it, and I was like, holy shit, one or two more of these, and the crowd is going to start counting when the initial bell rings to see how long these things last, just like they used to do for Corbin. I feel it.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. It'll be even more interesting to see how they handle it. But again, I have to say, not a knock on Xia at all. But the most interesting element of this was the leader. Yeah. Because post-match, she, holds the hand out. She makes some gestures to say, no, continue the beat down. Beat her down. Xia pulls her out, punches her in the gut a few times, knees her in the face.
Dude.
And, yeah.
The fucking, oh, God. You, just, because here's the thing. I don't know where to start here. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody can, do something that doesn't look great. It's possible for everybody. But when people are consistently showing a lack of experience and consistently making things not look good, I feel like that starts to look more like a trend than just like a fluky, like it can happen to anyone kind of thing. These punches, especially what was supposed to be the punch to the face that missed by about 3 inches, just looked so bad to me.
Yeah.
You got that too?
Yeah, you can still tell that she's incredibly green.
I know. That's why I don't like this, though. I even said in the Discord, let me find my exact quote in the Discord. I said, I hate that I don't like this, but I don't like this about this exact segment because I want this to be amazing. I want this packaging, this presentation to be amazing and succeed. But you gave all of this to Xia Li. And I don't have a problem with Xia Li as a person. She seems like a total sweetheart. She makes friends with fucking everybody. She's an amazing person. But from a talent perspective, you're wasting this gimmick.
You know what, dude? Maybe that's the problem that you and I are having. I think you just really kind of put it in a nice thing. It's like NXT has shown, hey, we're great at packaging and production. They just need to be more selective about who they do that for. I really think that's the crux of the issue because Karrion Kross we're seeing is very limited. I will say, though, in Kross's defense, I see that dude making pretty nice money on the main roster if they handle him right. Xia Li, though, is a completely different case. I just think, again...
Well, but dude, the thing is, with Kross, it all comes down to the presentation. That's what it is for all of these people. That's why, I've almost stopped... I don't want to say stop paying attention or stop caring, because that's not true. I've almost stopped putting, significant emotional investment in how well people do in NXT, and I've started exclusively thinking about them as just a talent in a vacuum. And that's why this isn't connecting for me, because as great as this presentation is, what we need to remember is that the vignettes leading up to it, the mystique that was really kind of built up around it, the amazing dragon theme that's going on in all of the monitors and the Titantron and stuff, and the credibility that comes with her getting these squash matches, none of that's going to happen on the main roster if she gets called up anytime soon. Right. She's going to get called up. She'll have the same entrance. She probably won't have the arena going dark effect like she does now, but she'll have the same entrance with the woman on the chair and fucking Boa. She'll have the same move set, but she'll not have the credibility. She won't have the build-up. She won't have the mystique, etc., etc. And then, like, for Cross, if Cross does not get the presentation on the main roster that he got to start in NXT. Because you got to remember, there was a point in time that we were super into this dude. Right up until Keith Lee, we were really into this dude. It took a bad, long match to ruin his mystique for us. And NXT is who did that. Imagine what the fuck the main roster's going to do with him. Are you kidding me? Like they could decide he's their Goldberg. They could decide that he is the next fucking Goldberg. And you know what would still happen is they would put him in a match that goes too long and the fans would stop giving a shit again. Just like what happened in NXT with Keith Lee. With him against Keith Lee, I should say. It never happened with Keith Lee himself. But with Cross in his match against Keith. Like, these are acts that are too dependent on presentation and do not have the talent to back it up. And I'm not calling them untalented, because obviously they're better than you or I at what they do by miles. But what I'm saying is, relative to their peers, relative to, you know, the opportunity cost here, I think that this is just not something that's going to connect with me. I think, like, with Xia Li, you could have done this with anyone. You could have done this with fucking Mercedes. Are you kidding me? You could have given this presentation to Mercedes Martinez and you give it to Xia Li. Like, even if you want to take age into account, you could have given it to fucking Toni Storm. She worked in Japan. I don't give a fuck. You gave it to Xia Li. Like, I'm not even the biggest Toni Storm fan, but at least we know that she can go a hell of a lot more than Xia Li.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Like, you give this exact packaging to a Mercedes or a Tony or a fucking Ember Moon, who doesn't really need much better packaging, but it sure as hell would put her over the top. Or, hell, even a Kaden Carter. I feel like this would work for Kaden Carter, right? I feel like they would immediately be contending for the NXT Women's Championship. But because it's Xia Li, you have to build her up from the very bottom of the barrel. And eventually we're going to find out, there's going to be a match where it's going to click how out of her depth she is. And NXT has to do everything in their power to protect her in the meantime. Whereas if you would have just given this gimmick to somebody that doesn't need protecting, you wouldn't have had to worry about that, you know?
Exactly.
That is the entire issue here. Is it's not, oh, Xia Li sucks, she shouldn't be on TV. It's they're putting too much on her plate right now. And they could have put all of this shit on somebody's plate where the plate's big enough to handle the load that they're putting on it.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I almost feel like they would have done Xia a bigger favor long term if they would have just kept her as like a jobber member on the roster. Because sometimes you have a jobber and you just don't think about it, right? Like, that's their assigned role. I don't think anything about like a Kurt Hawkins when he was there losing another match, right?
Dude, Azumi and Starlight Kid feuded with each other and only each other for like 4 years because they were both too young to beat anyone older and they were both too good to lose to anyone younger. So they just went against each other all the fucking time, trading wins and losses because neither one of them could consistently be believed to beat somebody older or lose to somebody younger. Like, if you want to have Xia Li feud with the likes of Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah for 4 years, I don't think that it's a fucking show ender.
No, I don't think so either. And I think while you're doing that, you refine her at the Performance Center as best you can. And it isn't to say, look, sometimes all the refinement in the world, it ain't going to raise the height of your ceiling, right? But I think, you know, you do that, and then you pull the trigger when she's more ready. Because, again, it is still very evident that she's quite green.
Yeah.
But, you know, and again, like, my big thing, just to kind of bring it back on track, because we've had a nice discussion about that here, I do worry that with Xia and with Boa, who I'll also be honest, I was kind of hoping that we'd see Boa compete tonight just to see if he's grown at all, but it was Xia for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Once again, though, I feel like this is a gimmick that's going to be overshadowed anyway, because the real intrigue is who is leading them in the first place. Like that woman, yeah.
That's my thing. Like, if it's Mako or if it's Karen or if it's somebody that we know can go in the ring, that has more experience, that can be sort of the ring general of tag matches involving Xia, you've got my interest back. The problem is, right now, this feels like Xia Li featuring all this background shit.
Yeah. And I'm just waiting for the leader to like take their place, which I feel like in ways they do, because again, after the match, when they're making the head signal and everything, like that's clearly them taking the foreground, but I want them to monopolize the foreground. See, there's a difference.
Right, and that plays into what I said last week, also in the Discord. There was no way for this act to not disappoint unless it involved the reveal of who that was. That
exactly
was the only way that this act didn't disappoint, and it didn't, so it disappointed.
Yeah.
And
so
it still is disappointing until we find out who the fuck that is.
Yeah. So after this, we get Caden and Casey promo, pretty much like banging
this
on the
was
other teams.
really good. I enjoyed the hell out of this. This feels like NXT to its heart. Like this feels like real, like the NXT that we fucking know and love. You know.
I'll be honest. After this promo, dude, I was low key fucking rooting for it because like Caden. I'm kind of ambivalent about Caden, but I don't think that's her fault. I don't think NXT's really pulled the trigger on her for me to really take a definitive position. And Casey, I feel like she is fun, and she's got that likability. Like, she really is that underdog Mysterio type, but I think they'll know to always, like, never make her OP. So I'll be honest, after this promo, I wanted these guys to win this tournament. Because what better way to really raise their stock than to get them in the ring with fucking Asuka, who is a legit beast, and Charlotte.
Dude, you know what I think it is? This promo had Juice Robinson energy to me.
It did. It definitely did. And as a guy that consumes Juice Robinson promos whenever they come out religiously, I'm qualified to say that, I think you're right about that. Because when they're asking the other teams, like, please underestimate us.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's wholesome. They build themselves up without tearing anyone down. They're, like, hyping each other up. And I just really enjoy it. Like, this is just a good old, nice babyface promo, which we don't get enough of these days.
Yeah. Dude, absolutely.
Which I think is why Juice was your talker of the year 2020, because he delivered those fucking regularly, like every time.
God, my heart sank when he missed Wrestle Kingdom. I'm already missing Juice again, and I got a good bit of him.
I am too. But I hope we see him for New Beginning. It'd be nice to see him again.
Dude, God, when I saw in the Discord New Japan Cup is in March, I'm like, the dream.
Yeah. If only, especially if Jay leaves, that's the opening, baby. Juice Robinson, next top babyface Gaijin. Fuck off, Ospreay.
Because, dude, here's the thing. New Japan Cup winners, they don't even have to challenge for the world title. Like, dude, Juice versus fucking Ibushi for the IC title.
Oh, my heart. Be still, my heart.
Mood. But yeah, like after this, just to get back on track, like I really do. I want to see them in the ring with Asuka and Charlotte. I can't stand Charlotte, but again, she is presented as the top tier player. So I think Caden and Casey getting that title shot, especially if it was given fucking time, that's the match that gets people to care about them. I really think they're the under the radar team that I'm watching the closest because they might actually fucking win this.
And dude, their first opponents are Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. So either they're going to get fucking obliterated or Mercedes and Toni are going to cost each other because they both want EO.
See, and it's funny you say that because I actually take the third route. I think EO's going to screw them both out of this because she has issues with both Toni and Mercedes. Why not take them both out at once?
EO's going to seek them out. That's an interesting take. I like that. Yeah, you're right. That'd be cool.
Yeah, EO needs to strike back, dude, because she still hasn't given Mercedes her receipt for the whole announce table bit, and Toni needs to be fucking, fucked with. So
Toni needs to be fucking handled, baby.
I'm actually going to do it on the podcast. I mean, I've been wrong so many times in our history, so I guess I'll do it. I'm picking Caden and Casey to win. I'll go with it.
Oh, my. We don't even know who the other teams are.
You know what?
I'm picking Ember and Shotzi.
God knows they could use it too, dude. I hate that they need a fucking Dusty Classic. Fuck that. I hate that they need it, but you have a good point there.
They do. And let's be real, that fucking match. Shotzi and Ember versus Asuka and whoever the fuck else who gives a shit.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, 3 amazing women and a burden. But yeah,
dude, I thought you were gonna call Charlotte a burnout, and I was ready to agree with that too.
Oh, Charlotte. So we then get the Swerve Atlas Bronson Reed fuckery that just made me die inside. And then we get Breezango versus Undisputed Era, which is a really solid matchup that I had a lot of fun with. But obviously the bigger story here is Kyle O'Reilly was attacked. I mean, God, it's really Kyle O'Reilly's got 2 feuds going on because it's him versus For the Brand. And apparently, if you believe the medical reports, Kyle O'Reilly versus Solids because that jaw is fucked. So, yeah, rough time to be Kyle O'Reilly. And I have to say, For the Brand did get a heel reaction out of me because I don't know if you noticed this, and if you did, maybe you, I don't know, committed soul murder so you didn't have to remember it. I wouldn't fucking blame you. But the camera actually panned at Danny Burch mocking Kyle O'Reilly playing guitar with the championship. And it was really cringe. Like, he totally looked like that old dude that thought he could start a garage band and recapture his youth, and it just fails spectacularly. And you know it's even more delicious because the internet's a thing. But, like, yeah, I receded into myself seeing that. So, it was great time. Great time. Yeah,
super great time.
Totally. So Undisputed Era advance, because who didn't see that coming, am I right?
I mean, I think we didn't see that coming, to be fair.
Yeah. So that was NXT. God, I missed when I was really actively anticipating the show. Remember when we used to get this show when it was really good and Lucha Underground on in the same fucking night?
Oh.
God. You know,
can we not talk about amazing wrestling products when they're so limited in funding these days?
I know, man. I know. I would do those were the days, but then that invokes Edith, which then invokes Archie and like Stroke. Yeah. I don't know. Do what you.
He did already.
Well, that's one heart that I'm glad gave out. But regardless, yeah, I guess our next segment: high spots and low shots. God, I'm tempted to give the low shot my vote after that.
Do you think All in the Family would have been as successful if the actor that played Archie would have been like an activist in favor of like black rights and like trying his best to just like counteract the damage that the show itself did while he was playing the character after he retired?
Man, I don't know, because I mean, I don't know what the equivalent of like a cancel culture or whatever would have been back then, but maybe some people would have looked like you're hedging your bets.
I know, yeah. Like I'm almost certain though that like it would have killed the show because you would have had the people that are pro like BLM, anti-white supremacists being like, fuck you, you portray a piece of shit on TV and you like, you know, platform these views. And the white supremacists would be like, fuck you, we thought you really believed in our bullshit.
God, and then I would love to be the journalist that's like, so on the one hand, you play a racist character, but on the other hand, we looked at your bank statement and you've made considerable donations to the Black Panther Party. Are you hedging your bets? No, I would like to say that I'm a centrist, and then I would counter with, well, some would say that that's the same difference. And then, you know, do all that. So, God, like, how long before we just
and then he'd be like, podcast? Would you say it's the same difference? And then you'd be like, I'm just telling you what I've heard.
That's so my low-key douchey energy. Yes.
Journalism, baby. That's what it's all about.
God, I'm eagerly awaiting the day that we just monopolize the political discussions to Twitch or something, because it's clearly happening.
All right, let's move on to the high spots, low shots.
High spots, low shots. Again, I joked that my low shots would be my mood after reviewing the show. I guess I hated it more than I thought that I did.
That's been happening to us a lot lately. We're like, oh, nothing was terrible on the show, and then like 5 minutes in, we're like, I hated this.
Except for this. And then our poor viewers are like, but I thought this was good, and I thought you didn't have a problem. Well, you were wrong.
No, in this case, well, I was wrong when I said that.
Low shot Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, bruh. Again, I literally just made a joke at your expense that you've got two feuds going on, For the Brand and Solid Foods.
Kyle O'Reilly didn't even lose a match tonight. What?
Yeah, but he got fucked up. Like, I almost feel like twice. Okay. And he closed the show out, like, getting beat up. Well, you know,
I guess that means that I need quad low shots tonight.
If that's what you want to go with, I don't know what you're doing on your
Actually,
side of
no,
things.
Not quad, triple low shots tonight. Because I'm fucking angry about all of these. Shotzi Blackheart, Dexter Lumis, and Swerve.
Ooh. Oh my God. So yeah, high spot. I'm gonna go for the easy fucking fruit this week. Fuck it, MSK.
Yeah.
Great job to these guys. Great debut. Happy to see
you know
him.
What? That's definitely fitting. My high spot. You know what? We praised him enough. I'm going to just say it. My high spot is going to go to Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro for their promo.
I like that. You know what? I just want to add an honorary high spot. Pat fucking McAfee, baby. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and fuck was it felt tonight.
Yes, McAfee Daddy, come back.
I'm just picturing the promo we cut into, and this faction, which I founded, looked like the poorest thing I've ever seen in my life. God damn, never let Danny Burch talk. Like, ever.
This is what the Power Rangers look like without the red guy.
Yes. Yes. Oh, God. Okay. Well, I am personally glad that we entertained ourselves on this platform more than NXT entertained us tonight, apparently.
The truth.
Yeah, so...
I will say, though, one big thing I want to give NXT props for, and this is like almost low-key like a high spot in and of itself.
Yes.
An amazing job of building to next week's show. And I always shit on them when they don't do it, so I want to give them credit when they do it. They did a really good job building to next week's show. I'm very excited about next week's show. If for no other reason, because we're getting the Fight Pit and we're getting that Casey, Caden, Tony, Mercedes match. I'm looking forward to both of those. And then there was something else that I completely forget about, but I'm excited about next week's show.
Well, yeah, we also know that we're getting Kushida, Leon Ruff versus Gargano and Austin Theory.
I don't really give a fuck about that. It was something else, I think.
Okay. I guess I will say, too, and on a positive, I think when it does come to the Dusty Classic, that was low-key the highlight for NXT tonight. So they are still promoting that tournament well.
Yeah.
I think the right teams won here for night one. Because, again, GYV beat Everrise and MSK won their debut, so you really can't ask for more than that.
Yep.
So, yeah, guys, with that said, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. Guys, be sure to like the videos you file out. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place you belong. So please leave that like. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications so you never again miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Comment down below when this video is done processing. Talk to us. I'm just going to keep it simple. Who do you have right now, since we're still in the early goings of the tournament, winning the Dusty Classic and winning the Women's Dusty Classic? Give us your team names. I don't think any of these shows were taped, so I think that's a safe question to ask. So I don't think spoilers will be out there, at least I hope not. So let us know. And if you do know, please keep it to yourself. We don't appreciate spoilers on this channel. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. When it comes to our Patreon, look at everything that we offer in the TWitWoW Patreon. Two big things I want to point out. Q&A. If you donate $1, you get 5 Q&A questions, because non-Patreon donors only get 3. Patreon donors of only $1 for Q&A get 5 Q&A questions. The next Q&A is January 28th, because we do Q&As the last Thursday of every month. For this month, that is the 28th of January. So you've got a little over 2 weeks. Just get your questions in. And you can submit them YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Discord. When it comes to Twitter, I should say that is my pinned tweet to receive Q&A questions. So be sure to submit it there. As far as the Discord itself goes, that's $3 to gain Discord access, and you're definitely going to want to do it because, we're doing more stuff on the Discord, a lot of lively discussions on there, and we're also starting to do Among Us gatherings, particularly on Mondays during Raw, and it's especially fitting this month because we don't have any Raw reviews to do.
I'm also considering starting a Minecraft realm for TWitWoW, and I would need to add a tier to the Patreon, individual donor goals for that. So if anyone's interested in joining a TWitWoW exclusive Minecraft realm, let me know, because I'm kind of gauging how interested people are in that right now. It seems like the interest isn't as high as I thought it would be, so I might not do it. But if you do want to get in on that, let me know right now. If you're enthusiastic about it, let me know, and I'll that'll contribute to my possibility of doing it.
Absolutely. I'm glad you chimed in with that, bro. I wouldn't have even thought to mention it. So yeah, guys, do consider donating to the Discord. And then, of course, with Ashton's Twitter, the pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for the month of January. So just to continue through it this week, today was the 13th. To go through the rest of this week, Thursday, so tomorrow, we are slated at 6 for Stardom. New Year's Stars Day.
It's not happening tomorrow. They don't have any matches up yet. It might be Friday at 5. Most likely it'll be Friday at 5.
All right, well then, Friday at 5, it'll be Stardom New Year's Stars Day 5 live reactions. And then, of course, at 10, it'll be our SmackDown review. And then that's it for that week. Guys, with me, I don't want to, beat you guys down with the whole month's worth of schedules. I'm just going to go week by week. So this week again, very chill, very chill. I like that for all of us. So we'll see us Friday, hopefully at 5 for Stardom, New Year's Stars, Day 5, live reactions, and then 10 p.m. Eastern time for our SmackDown review. Very curious how they're going to be building up the Roman Reigns Adam Pearce matchup for Royal Rumble. I can't believe I said that sentence. And we'll see you guys then. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. I'm John. That was my co-writer and commentary, Ashton. And until then, guys, tune in. Peace out.